Hearing that real estate is all doom and gloom? Well, get the facts today. Hi, I'm Charlotte with Birch & Cedar Realty Group. First, you need to know that the real estate market is still active and has actually stayed active throughout the stay-at-home orders. The Boise Regional Realtors released their monthly statistics for May, so let's talk about them today. First, let's talk about closed sales. There was a decrease in closed sales of 29.7% compared to this time last year. But it's important to note that that is a backward-looking number, meaning it actually shows the buyer activity for March and April. Now, if you think about it, it makes sense that we did have a drop in buyer activity. We were under the stay-at-home order, and we did have a lot tighter restrictions on showings and such. And so it did hinder some people from going out. It really only the serious buyers that were out buying. But that's important to note. It still was only down 29.7%. So all in all, we were still pretty active. I mean, you probably heard the real estate had completely stopped. And we are seeing by the numbers that that just is not true. And it definitely could have been a lot worse. And what's really exciting is that pending sales are up 4.7% this last May compared to May of 2019. So we actually went pending on more homes this year than we did last year. And when you compare pending sales from May of this year to the previous month, April, pending sales went up a whopping 25.4%. So we're going to see those closed sales come up in the next 30 to 60 days. The median home sales price for the month of May was $360,000. That includes both new and existing construction. And what's interesting is it was actually a drop from a record high $374,000 in April. Now you may be starting to panic and wondering, oh no, we've seen a drop in prices. Are all the home prices going to drop? No, don't panic. There's a reasonable explanation for this, so let me explain. New construction home prices are more expensive. So our median home sales price is actually dependent on how many new construction homes sell each month. So in April, we had 35%, and in May, we only had 31%. It's not that big of a drop, but it actually does account for why there's a drop in the median home sales price. So don't panic. We're not losing our home values. I want to add that while Ada County's housing market has been affected by their current health crisis, all the experts agree that we are primed to recover quickly. The Boise Regional Realtors agree, and I quote, "The stage is set for a rebound in sales due to the strong market position at the beginning of the year and continuing buyer demand compared to supply." So it's important to note that we are helping our economy by buying and selling. The experts agree that we are primed for recovery. In fact, housing could be one of the things that brings us out of the economic recession that we're in. And just because we're in a recession does not mean we're going to have a housing crash. I did a video on that a little while back, and I'll link that here. But if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. I am available for any questions that you have. I hope this was helpful. As always, like, subscribe, and click that little bell. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.